City councillors voted overwhelmingly in favour of pushing up council tax by 4.99%, the maximum amount allowed legally. It's made up of a 1.99% rise in direct council tax and 3% in the adult social care precept. It was voted through as part of a cost-saving budget designed to save £15.6 million next financial year. As part of that budget, the John Carroll Leisure Centre in Radford will close in June. The council's leader says the government now grants the authority £100 million less than in 2010. That and lost income because of COVID means tough decisions need to be made. Of its 8 leisure centres, he says John Carroll is the least used and the centre to which they pay the most money to keep costs low. He adds there are centres nearby at Genogley and Harvey Haddon, and he hopes that a community use for the building can be found. Campaigners are determined to keep the building open though. More than 2,500 people have signed a petition. Daniel Thomas is the lead organiser for the Save John Carroll campaign. He joins me on the line now. Thank you for joining me this evening.
Hello there, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. First up then, how are you feeling about this news and how will the closure impact the Radford community?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, there's 2 things to say here. On one hand, there's a huge feeling of frustration and disappointment. This is a Labour council that was elected in just a few years ago. In its manifesto, it promised to protect leisure centres from cuts. And today it has gone and done the exact opposite, right? So you've got a working class area that's voted in a Labour council that promises to defend services for working class people. And today it's done the absolute opposite. So there's a huge feeling of frustration, but overall, we're upbeat because for us, this is a campaign that's just beginning, if you like, and we've got a lot more to come. So yeah, disappointed, but we're still quite upbeat.
The council leader said that there are other leisure centres in the area that can be used. What's your response to that? And really, what is the importance of the leisure centre? Sports facilities aside, what does it mean for the community?
Yeah, well, just to answer that first question, right, the councillors say that there's a leisure centre around the corner. Radford's got one of the highest rates, right, of people with a condition that limits their daily activities. It's got one of the highest rates of pensioners in this area who use that leisure centre, you know, to overcome loneliness and to remain rooted in society. It's also, we looked at every leisure centre in Nottingham and we also found that John Carroll, within a square kilometre, has the least number of households with access to a car. So these people aren't just going to simply be able to walk down the street and go to the other leisure centre, right? What you have here in the middle of Radford is a community facility in the middle of one of the most diverse places in Nottingham that allows all of these different groups to come together, break down those barriers that usually drive people apart, get to know each other and create a vibrant, you know, lovely society. And that is beginning to break down because of the decisions that this council is taking.
Announced today that it will close in June, but you say this isn't the end for you and your group, and you say that you're going to continue on campaigning. What do you hope you can achieve and what are your next plans?
Yeah, well, look, you were just showing some pictures there of the AstroTurf. One of the things you'll note about the AstroTurf is the AstroTurf, it has had such poor investment that it's genuinely beginning to grow real grass, right? That's one of the issues that we're claiming here. Nottingham City Council hasn't invested in this place. Compare it to Harvey Haddon or Genogley that have had millions and millions and millions of pounds spent on it. So what we're calling for is for the council to rethink this decision. We're not going to stop here, right? It isn't going to end. This campaign, I should say, isn't really about John Carroll. It's about the fact that in Radford, this council has stripped away John Carroll Community Centre, the Tennis and Play Centre, the Chieftain Centre, Radford Unity Complex. Literally, the area has nothing left, right? So you can't keep chipping away at our communities. You can't keep stamping on this community and expect them to sort of not stand up and begin to fight back. We're just beginning.
Thank you very much for joining us this evening, Daniel. Thank you. Take care.
You're very welcome.
Next.